Well, welcome to Friday Night Football here. This is Darwin Football Stadium. Really excited to bring this clash. A team that needs a win tonight with Port Darwin up against Casuarina, who, after a couple of slip-ups, have shown real class, real championship, real premierships credentials. So looking forward to see how these games go. It is a beautiful night for football here in Darwin. Larrakia Park looks good. The pitch looks good. It's a lovely temperature. Daniel, you're joining me, and you're going to give us some expert insights as we go through here. You're the coach of Mindle, so tonight you'll be watching some of the opposition players going around making notes. I know what you're like, but you won't let any opportunity go. But listen, tonight, you know, if you were in a side like Port Darwin, they have patches of good play, they have potential to win games, they just haven't got it yet. I'd be saying as a coach, it's only round 7. It'll come. What about yourself? What are you going to tell them?
Yeah, absolutely, and you have to also look at the performance they had last week. I mean, I was on the receiving end of that.
That's right.
They're certainly picking up and they're developing as a team, but they had a hunger to them then,
Yep.
and I'm just watching their warm-up tonight. They look like they've got that same hunger again, so I think we're in for a pretty good game tonight.
Look, that's a really interesting thing. A couple of people come and do their expert analysis for me. They're always going, the warm-up. I always watch the warm-up. It's so true. You can tell if they're on or they're in the shed, so to speak. So look forward. I think, Daniel's spot on here. I haven't seen much of Casuarina, but they can have slow starts.
They can. But look, Port was out the change rooms about 10-15 minutes before Casuarina. They were really on the pitch. They were fizzing around the ball. They were moving around. There was lots of communication. So I think they're up for it tonight. And they've got a few new additions. We got to see them last week against us. So. Yeah. Look, that team's still changing. We haven't seen them at their full potential because they're constantly introducing new players.
Yeah. No, that's a great point, Daniel. So I look forward to your expert insights as we go through this match. My name is Bruce Stalder. We're on Football Northern Territory TV, also on the FFA digital channels. And, of course, we go around the Perform Network, which is a world-class and worldwide network. So you can be watching it anywhere. Daniel, I have had some funniest emails from the funniest places on the planet. And the reason I say they're funny is I'm going, where is this place? And one the other day was Uzbekistan, and I know they're in there somewhere. I don't want to be rude to the Uzbekistanis, but I was like, right, okay, cool. And he knew my name, and he knew the teams, and his favourite team, guess what? His favourite team was your team, but he called it Mundle. But anyhow.
Mundle Aces.
Mundle Aces.
I'll put it to Dave that we look at renaming the club.
Please do that. But it's great. We're going everywhere, and it's really exciting to be. So thank you for your support. We'll be back with this game very shortly. We will see Port Darwin take on Casuarina. Men's Premier League here in Darwin. Back shortly. Well, welcome back. This is Darwin Football Stadium on a beautiful night for Friday night football. Not a breeze in the air. The temperature's dropped down. A little bit of dew forming on the surface, so the ball will skip and scurry when they're passed and placing kicks. So really looking forward to this one. Port Darwin in the claret and blue, running from right to left on your screens, up against our current premiers and champions in Casuarina Football Club. Called the Rowdies, and the Port Darwin nickname is the Wharfies. My name is Bruce Stalder. We'll be bringing you live streaming of all the men's Premier League matches throughout 2020. Of course, the finals as well. And again, one of the rare places in the country you can watch Premier League football. And again, with that happening in Victoria, we feel for our friends and the family in Victoria who are back down in lockdown. It just shows you how fragile the world is in the COVID-19 situation. But here in Darwin and the Northern Territory, we still remain to be the safest place in the country. And Roberto, the hair shoot, number 9 in the centre there for Port Darwin, on about to go on the ball there again. He's lively. Couldn't play last week because he had to do some work. He works the drive-through at McDonald's. No, he doesn't. But he's out here tonight, so he's free of work, so he'll be free to play football. He's got an engine on him. He'll go all night. We're talking about number 9 out there, Roberto Sickles.
We've actually just seen 3 fouls in the first minute here by Port Darwin, so I think it's clear they're trying to make a statement early that they're not going to let Casuarina walk through them here. Yep,
let's just see how that plays out. Expert comments from Daniel on my right here tonight. And there's Jose, a player that's brought some real spark to Port Darwin. That player on the ball there now and wearing the armband has been a really great addition, played 1 game now. And his name is Ryan McAvoy. Look out for him. He'll sit in the midfield and distribute. Number 12 for the claret and blue. Try to thread that pass through. This is Mark Casemiro. Pace galore. And there's been a self-inflicted injury. Well, not self-inflicted, club-inflicted injury. So the big man at the back's gone down. That takes a lot to bring him down.
Yeah, his teammate's boot just flicked up and hit him in the head there.
Yeah. So he's down. Hope he's okay. Grace Lane, their physio and sports trainers out there with him. In good hands with Grace. But early in the game, 2:39, you'd hope he's okay, but he doesn't look good at all. And as I said, a really powerful player, very strong, and very tough. So Declan O'Shea on the pitch at the moment. He's coming from the pitch. I'll do some work on him, hopefully get him back. I don't know if it's a cork or I think he received a stray boot from his own player. And the player in question is the one on the ball now, throws it in. Referee didn't like that. At this level, throw-in wasn't correct. We're back at Mini-Roos. Okay, now, number 3, Seb Smith throws back to Jari Van Lingen. He goes across to the midfield where a player will pop up all day. Curtis Smith on the ball there. Curtis is going to have a battle all day with McAvoy. So Jari goes across. And James Hamilton, who's safe as ever, gets him going on the left-hand side. That is Curtis. That is Coombe on the ball now, who will be dangerous. That's a lovely ball through. If he's got time and place, he does. He turns on the right foot. He'll have a shot. Of course he will. That's Daniel Marimba. So we've come down both flanks, left and right, Casuarina, Daniel. There doesn't seem to be a preference for either. And when you look what's on the end of them, Daniel on this side and Coombe on the other side, nice place to end up.
Yeah, it is, and that was a well-weighted ball over the top there, and Daniel did well to get a shot off. I thought once he let that ball bounce that we weren't going to see a shot there, but he did. He got it out from under his feet and just missed the top right upright there.
But he got targets on both the flanks. They've got plenty of pace, and they're not afraid to have a go. So a good ball in from Coombe. And the youngster is on the Northcrest scoreboard side. That's Jose, number 7 for Port Darwin. Now McAvoy in the middle there. wins that ball. That's a very dangerous play from the youngster from Port Darwin. Referee lets it go. Didn't even play advantage. Ball comes back to Casuarina's defensive line, where Jose shows some of his skills, but only as far as a Casuarina defender. So Ryan Newell on the ball now. Dangerous player for them. Casemiro picks up as well. Defensive onto him. All the ball from Dylan. So Dylan Quinn with that win in that defensive play for the Claret and Blue. He's wearing number 4. He's going to centre back to position tonight, where he'll join Terry Fanning, number 19. Terry is one of the oldest players playing in the Premier League. He had a fantastic game last week against Mindle. Terry Fanning, so wearing number 19 in the central defensive role for Port Darwin tonight, once again, 2 weeks in a row. Ryan Newell on the ball, looks up, goes wide. Hamilton on the overstretch. Foot race. Hamilton's going to have to... The ball, the referee's okay with it. He turns in, puts the ball in. And the player I talked about before, Dylan, in there early to save that one. Quinn, well played. Great keeper in Dominic Price in the custodial role again. He'll do the right things by the club all night and this team. Dominic Price, look out for him, number 1. There he is on the ball now with the right footer. As high as the stars. It'll come down to Roberto. But Tran is on the back of that. And Tran Quinlan. So Quinlan puts it across to Jari. Finds Marimba. Seb Smith on the overlap. He ignores him, goes into Coombe. Coombe's on the ball. And great work from the keeper. Really assured work from Dominic Price. What did you see there, Daniel?
I think that was very well kept. He's come out, he's seen it coming, and he's gone out sliding. He's made his body pretty big, well on the ground, and he just managed to get there before he got the shot off there from Coombe.
And as a keeper, you've got to make that decision. You go or you don't go, but when you do, you go. And that was a good example of it.
You go with certainty, which is exactly what he's done there. And watching Price play his last few games, when he goes, he really goes, regardless of who's there.
Yeah, great little goalkeeper. Not the tallest keeper in the competition, but geez, he's dynamic.
I'd put money on him being the bravest, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I've seen him really take out a few players, and that sticks with you. If you see a goalkeeper with that sort of confidence coming out, you know he's not going to pull out.
Yep.
That sticks with you.
Right, it looks like there's a major move here, which is a disappointing one for Port Darwin. It looks like the big fella Declan O'Shea is not going to come back on. So the sub is Andrew Savis, number 11. So Andrew will move out.
That's actually Andrew's club debut here for Port Darwin.
That's right. Very true. Young teacher now, his first year of teaching. And enjoying his time in the classroom, but now a different sort of classroom. Here on Larrakia Park. Main field, Darwin Football Stadium. Mr. Quinn, I liked his idea, didn't mean it. Just one of those brain explosions that they say. Right, we'll get started. Ball's left. Again, Hamilton on the roll. Trying to find Coombe. Does Coombe gets it sort of as a unintentionally gets it. Quinlan Tran now got to try and keep Roberto in check. He does that. Ryan Newell on the ball, goes across to Marimba. Marimba has space and time. But good work from McAvoy, the captain from Port Darwin. McAvoy on the ball again. Nice, calm play there. Savis on it again, goes wide. And Jose picks up. Jose still on the run.
Great release.
So Ramondo Jose puts the ball through. But unfortunately offside Port Darwin. Right, Braden, the keeper. For Casuarina, plays it back into play. Braden McLennan, young Indigenous Northern Territory footballer, will feature on Wednesday night in a NAIDOC showcase of Indigenous football. Make sure you come down free of charge. Nothing at all to get in through the gate. And it'll be a great night of entertainment. 2 fantastic games of football and plenty of other stuff to do on the night as well. Wednesday next week here at Larrakia Park. So Quinlan Tran on the ball, patiently playing out from the back, goes to Hamilton. Hamilton pushes it right back to the aforementioned Braden McLennan, and he goes across to Jari Van Lingren. He goes to Seb Smith. Smith inside to Ryan Newell. Good pressure and time from Savis. Savis in that pressure enables the ball to come to Quinn. Sorry, not to Quinn. Who is it? 17. So that's Oakland.
McAvoy.
So Oakland, first time we saw him was last week as well. So another strong addition to the Port Darwin side. Ball goes across to Newell. Newell on the ball now. Goes right out to Tran. Again, Casuarina will do this. They'll calmly play out from the back. They'll do it in a measured way. And you're just going to have to press and keep on pressing. So here goes Oakland with the ball forward to a player that's had plenty of impact. And that's Endri Profiti. And this time his ball only finds a Casuarina player in Curtis. Nice work from Terry Fanning to clean that up.
Yeah, that was an assertive tackle there. Port Darwin are caught with quite a number of players still high up the pitch there, so they could have been quite easily exposed.
So, Daniel, what are you seeing? You're seeing as you thought it would play out in the first 10 minutes?
Oh, look, I'm seeing Port Darwin trying not to give Casuarina time on the ball, and it is working, but it means that they're committing a lot of players to the press.
Yep.
And just watching Mark Casemiro, he's just drifting off the centre-backs, the shoulders of the two centre-backs, so when you're pressing like that, you've got to press as the whole team, and you've got to be cautious at all times of someone like him drifting off the back, because if the press isn't done right, it might create space that can be exploited against you.
And Raimundo Jose on the ball with Roberto Sickles. He goes forward. Roberto, he put a left footer in, he does, but some good work from Seb Smith came back at him again and kept this ball out of the danger zone, where it still remains with Casuarina. Referee has said, no, the assistant referee's seen that ball go over the goal line, so we will have a corner kick. And this one will be taken by Jose. And Raimundo moves in. Bit of right footer, he places the ball. Both hands raised, indicating to his team he's on his way. He'll drop his hands and move in, puts it in. It's a lower trajectory than he wanted. Didn't get much height on that at all and was easily cleared up by the defence from Casuarina. There's a breakaway here now. Foot race between Marimba and Fanning. And Fanning, Terry Fanning has won that one. Savas in the ball in the midfield. Nice play from Savas. McAvoy again, captain. Goes to Raimundo Jose. Jose looks up. Tries to find Roberto, does. Roberto wants it back but won't get it because this ball's gone through to Savas on the run. Savas puts it across. It goes into Oakland. Oakland has a chance to go across. This is Enfridi, goes in shot. It's a goal.
And it's in.
It is a goal. And a player I mentioned earlier on, so dangerous as he drifts in and out. That's Andre Profiti, number 14. And he puts that past Braden McLennan, and we have a 1-0 scoreline to Port Darwin. That'll do a great amount of stuff for their confidence. They haven't, from my memory this season, had an early goal and had the advantage.
No, I think you might be right there, but that's exactly what they were trying to do a bit earlier in the game, was pressing Casuarina deep in their half, and they've done it well there, and they've come out with the ball.
And nice work from the sub, Andrew Savas, there as well. Had plenty of time. He could have had a shot, didn't panic, put the ball across to Oakland. Oakland headed it on, and then Andre Profiti came in, and no mistake, put that one away. Well played to Port Darwin, and well played to Profiti, number 14, has a goal. So Tran trying to play out here. Goes to Curtis. Curtis Smith, number 11 for Casuarina. Goes in there with a heavy tackle, which is okay, but the ball goes out of play. Port Darwin will receive the ball. Be a throw in. Looks like it's Oakland on the ball. Not sure. There's a bit of distance there for me. That's not Oakland. It's been left by the goal scorer. And Profiti will then leave it back. We'll get his number in a minute. So there's Tobias Kogi on the ball at the moment, number 5. Nice skip inside. Lovely work to Roberto overlapping. Roberto goes back to... And Tobias Kogi on the ball again. There's 3 touches for him. He goes to McAvoy in the middle. McAvoy goes to Fannin. Fannin under a bit of pressure from Casemiro, but gets out of that quite easily. Goes back to Get another touch and another one for the youngster. And Tobias moves forward, gets a call then from the referee. Great work and great determination, deserves something from that. He's been in the play there 3 or 4 times. Number 5, Tobias Kogi. So he'll go back in his defensive setup. Raimundo Jose will take the ball. He's got a nice right footer on her. He'll curl this in, hopefully find the play he's intending to find. Referee looks back at him. Hands up. Referee calls him to go. Moves in. It's a lovely ball coming over the top. Onto it, Roberto. Off that shining ball pot, up it came. And he put his head to it early, and it just went past the right-hand post of the Casuarina goal. In the 15-minute mark here in the Men's Premier League, this is round 7. First game of the weekend. Port Darwin running from right to left on your screen. They are the traditional claret and blue, known as the Wharfies, and they're up against Casuarina in their white and black check, and they're known as the Rowdies. So 2 nicknamed teams out there tonight. Oakland on the ball, Savas in there as well. The sub came on very early in the game. Declan O'Shea couldn't recommence his time in the squad after that injury, so it's been taken by Andrew Savas. So, Daniel, as a coach, you often get changes to players you have to make on the run. You know, Declan O'Shea is so central to the defensive pattern. He sits at the back there, so they've had to put Quinn back there in that position and put Savas in the midfield.
Yeah, they have, but Quinn himself is a very strong player, and I think he's up for that sort of position as well. So, yes, they've lost Declan, but I think they've got someone else there who can step into that same position. So, they've got the depth and they're using it.
Well put. Okay, McAvoy is just such a class on the ball then in the midfield. Puts it through. Look at that lovely work from Jose. Jose puts it in and only as far as the keeper. But that's a good indication of what McAvoy brings to this team. Not only is he captain, but Ryan McAvoy will patrol that midfield and distribute as well as he did then. Fanning. Casemiro, Fanning. Still with Fannin. And Fannin now doesn't commit. Casemiro turns in on a nice turn, finds Curtis Smith. Curtis Smith goes wide, but a nice intervening foot from Savas brings that structured play undone. Still with Casuarina though. Jaro Van Lingen comes across to Seb Smith. Seb Smith back to Van Lingen. He goes across again to Tran. Tran goes to Jacob Leonard. Leonard to Coombe. Now that's Hamilton on the ball. Again, patient possession play from Casuarina. That's a misplaced pass, and that's what Port Darwin waiting for. Roberto made the run. It's now gone to Oakland. Oakland looks up, finds Roberto. If he looked up a bit further, he had a very unmarked player, if there's such a phrase. No one was on the goal scorer entry. Profiti on the far side, or what we call the North Crest scoreboard side. So, Daniel, Port Darwin are putting good pressure on Casuarina, but also like some of the attacking shape that they're bringing forward when they get into Casuarina's half.
We are, and actually the ball's been around the middle of the park for a lot of this game. We haven't seen it too much up front in either of the 18-yard boxes, so I think it's all coming down to what's happening with the midfields at the moment. I'd say it's a pretty even game, but Port Darwin do deserve to be out on top right now as it stands.
And what are you expecting from your midfield? I mean, obviously, you know, controlling the ball and possession and distribution has to be on the money, but it's a very defensive set as well. You have to be, you know, doing that extra effort.
Absolutely, and you've got to be composed. You've got to know when it's time to go forward and when it's time to go backwards, because the last thing you want to do is just give the ball straight back to them. So there's some good decisions being made.
So a good challenge there from number 12, the captain, Ryan McAvoy. Referee didn't like what he saw, but had him a quick word to him. But McAvoy, very accomplished player, just goes back, gets his position, knows it's important he gets back in the line. Not to worry about what happened there. So Van Lingren on the ball now. Takes the kick, puts it in. And a little push in the back there from, I think it's number 12. I can't see from right over there.
Can't help you there either.
And that's Daniel Marimba. No, not Daniel Marimba.
It's a couple of times now on that right-hand side that there's been an overload there. So that right back has had 2 men. And if they're going to allow that to keep happening, he is going to be caught out eventually. Yeah,
we're talking, there's a far way over there. I need my binoculars by 3. But that's Samson Mashamango over there, number 13. Good young player. And as Daniel said, you have to watch it though. There's some dangerous players of Casuarina circling him. Right, back to Van Lingen. He goes to Marimba. Marimba, nice little push through. That's Ryan Newell, who's always dangerous in the midfield. But great work from McAvoy in the first instance. Quinn on the end of it. Back from them to Jose. Quinn now on the ball. Looks up. Goes across to the youngster and Tobias. Tobias Kogi turns it inside to Jose. Jose cleaned up by McAvoy. So 2 assured touches from McAvoy. It shows his presence in the midfield, how key he is. Oakland comes in. Curtis Smith is on the challenge. And he'll get this challenge. Roberto had some comments there as well. Don't know what the referee saw there. What was that?
I'm not sure. I think there was a verbal altercation there.
Oh, okay. Referee reacted onto it straight away.
What Port Darwin are doing really well is they're congesting. When they don't have possession, they're really congesting the middle of the park there to deny Casuarina any room.
And you talk about playing your game and not the opposition's game. Is that what you're seeing in front of us here, that they're playing a Port Darwin game and not getting tricked into the Casuarina pace?
Yeah, well, by doing that, by having so many guys behind the ball, I mean, there was a point there, I think that Roberto was the only one that was in front of the ball, and then you've got 9 guys sitting in behind it. I mean, how can Casuarina break that down?
Well said. Daniel giving us our expert insights here tonight. Coombe puts the ball in, finds Marimba, goes behind him. Now this is a counter on. It's only 2 players. Roberto makes the run. Jose looks up, but that's just an ineffective pass. Right idea. Execution not quite there. Right, Marimba, who ball pounced before, is now on it. He again puts the ball. Again, intention was right. Quinn asked for some patience. And he talks to his keeper, Dominic Price. Puts it out to the youngster. Really clean, fast player. Fellas Roberto Sickles. Sickles goes forward. Tran and Sickles now. Tran will get there first and let it run out over the sideline, which it does. And it'll be a goal kick. Braden McLennan takes a very quick one to Seb Smith. So a little bit more urgency in the Casuarina play. Normally they play out of there with a little bit more. That's Leonard work. Nice work from Leonard to Marimba. Marimba's going to try and take them on. That's not a good idea. There were three players in front of him, one of which was Jose. He wins that, tries to win it back from Casemiro. Good tackle from Quinn. McAvoy gets involved. That's a good play. Oakland on the ball now, but intercepted by Curtis Smith. Curtis Smith comes back. Some nice football from both sides, trying to weave their way through the midfield where there's plenty of walls to get around. And there's a good example then of Oakland being one of those walls. Referee's playing advantage. Nice work from Jose and the... So the referee did play advantage, but not much advantage played out of it in the end because there was an offside play. Right, we're in the 23rd minute. This is round 7. Casuarina running from left to right on your screen in their traditional black and white check with the black socks. They're looking at a 1-0 deficit at the moment. Port Darwin getting an early goal from their player number 14 from Albania, Andre Profiti. Well done to Andre. Last Albanian player I had was Besart Berisha, mate, at the Raw. What a fantastic player he was.
It's one of my favourite, I've got to admit.
Yep, great player. Knew how to get to goal, knew how to score them. Right, here we go.
Outstanding weight on that ball.
Another player knows how to score is on the ball now. But unfortunately, the bounce doesn't favour him. That's Roberto. And Roberto Sickles has just been dispossessed by Van Lingen. So Ryan Newell restarts. It goes right across to Hamilton. Hamilton goes back to the keeper. And Casuarina will play this out with patience from the back. Jacob Lennon, number 8 on the ball. Goes across. Curtis Smith back to Tran. Tran looking to thread that through to Mark Casemiro, who's coming back looking the ball. Beautiful pace on him. Goes down. And who put him down? Samson Mashamango. Samson needs to watch that. There's been a couple of times he's been in there with a stray boot. and brings Casemiro down. Interesting to see Casemiro going back looking for the ball as well, Daniel.
Well, he's being starved up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that congested that he's not really getting much of it, and he's used to having a lot of the ball and a lot of space, so he's coming back to find it. But that nearly worked there for Casuarina. They spent their time defensively drawing Port Darwin out, and then were able to get in behind them. But I think that's about 6 fouls now to Port Darwin and only 1 to Casuarina. So I still think it feels like Port Darwin are making a physical statement here.
Yep.
We're not going to give you time. We're not going to let you get away with this easy or anything easy here. We're going to make you feel it.
Yeah, and then last week they nearly did it for 90 minutes against you at Mindle Aces. And they're going to have to do it for 90 minutes in full tonight.
You can see the hunger building in them as a team. I mean, they've got 0 points at the moment, but some of the games they've played doesn't really reflect the performances they've had.
Yeah, how true is that? And that's the game and the beautiful game of football. You know, you can do everything right and still not bring home the bickies. Okay, nice work there from, I think it was Jose. Yes, it was. So Raimondo will make the run back over here. He's got a bit of a passport there, travelling across the pitch. And now come back over to his left-hand side, the grandstand side. And he's in the claret and blue, number 7 for Port Darwin, known as the Wharfies. Round 7 here in the Darwin Men's Premier League. So happy to bring this to you on the Perform Network right around the country, right around the world. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you may be and on your screens, whatever they may look like. McAvoy in there again, number 12, the captain. Puts his very strong head to it. He's going to get a second go at it. Looks to put that onto Savas. Savas does win the ball. And Kogi goes forward. No, a little bit too smart work there from Jose. Raimondo would like that back again, I'm sure. Now this is what they get. Shred on the counter. It's Coombe on the ball. Massamango on him. Coombe. Massamango goes back to Marimba. Marimba's got challenged down again. That's about your point, Daniel, about cutting down the pace and time for the Casuarina side. Great example of it.
And they created that space by playing a quick long ball there. And Port Darwin had about 3 or 4 players that were walking back. The midfield was very slow to get back to support Port Darwin's back 4 there.
Right, Seb Smith on the overrun. So the overlap comes in. Nice turn on the inside. But Tobias Kogi showing some good skills. Number 5, youngster. His second real start of the game for the season, I think. And he got in the way of Seb Smith there and diffuse that potential situation for Casuarina. Right, Dominic Price on the ball. Everyone's taking a breath, as they will at the 27-minute mark. And that ball harmlessly run over the players' heads and over the sideline. Tran on the ball, number 13. With the ponytail running and slapping into his back. He's on the ball again. He goes back to Braden McLennan, Indigenous NT footballer, playing in goals tonight for Casuarina. Can play outfield. Play anywhere, really, Braden. Right, Marimba on the ball. What can he do in his green boots? Goes back. Nice dancing moves. Finds Leonard. Leonard looks up and goes to Hamilton, who's done an overlap as well. Hamilton, a very experienced player, will turn in. So it's good defensive work there. And defensive work from the goal scorer, actually. So Andre Profiti back there doing some defensive work for his team, Port Darwin. If you just joined us, Port Darwin in the claret and blue, running from right to left on your screen. This is a round 7 match in the Darwin Football Men's Premier League. Beautiful Friday night for football. Local time is around 9 p.m. Gorgeous weather. Been a beautiful day again. It's beautiful every day in the dry season. And no breeze around to tell you about. And a nice temperature as well. So you've seen some good quality open football. Right, over through pass to Sampson and Coombe. And Parakos gets that ball in, finds Casemiro from Casuarina. Nice work from Curtis Smith. Tran on the ball now. Where will he go? He's going to go back to Van Lingen. Van Lingen pushes forward, wants some more urgency, gets that. Ryan Neal now on a nice little turn back. Someone needs to give him some help though. Good press from Port Darwin. Options aren't always there for Casuarina, but they'll be patient. They're looking for a way through this. Trend goes up to an advancing Coombe. Coombe comes back up, looks up, finds Hamilton on the left, what we call the North Crest scoreboard side of the venue. And the venue is Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium on the main pitch. We're back with Leonard again. Leonard's gone for a longer ball. That's a bit cute and clever, but does find Curtis Smith. He has a shot from there, puts his left foot to it, and that goes well and truly 4 or 5 metres over the goal. No opposition required from any of the Port Darwin or the keeper players to get in there and be involved. So that's well of the mark. So Daniel, 30-minute mark. You're getting ready to say something to the teams at half-time. Port Darwin have just got to keep pressing, I guess. Keep putting those challenges on. As you said, make their physical presence known.
Well, it's working. I mean, look at it at the moment. When Casuarina are in possession, don't allow them to play. But also, we've got to be really cautious that... I'm just watching Mark Casimiro's movements, and he's drifting wider and wider, trying to find pockets of space. And if they fall asleep for a moment, he's going to be in there. I mean, he's Casuarina's top goal scorer right now. So we know he can put them in the net. And they've just got to stay aware.
Talking about Marky Casemiro, one of my favourite players, number 7, as Daniel's rightly pointed out, very dangerous as he drifts. And if you're off your game or you don't concentrate for a second, lovely work from Raimondo Jose there, reclaiming that ball. That was beautiful. Right now, and he matched it up with a lovely ball through. It's now a foot race. Roberto, unfortunately, is offside. He's not happy. He's asking why. No, he's not. He's asking one of his players. I'll take that back, Roberto. He's looking to see what Oakland was up to. They've had a conversation. They're settled. They know what they're going to do next time. Right, ball's underway with Ryan Newell for Casuarina. He will go to... Well, he attempted to go to Marimba. Fannin will have to go back. Mark Casemiro is there early. That is what he can do. That is sensational. Mark Casemiro, you are a out-and-out striker. Deadly. Absolutely deadly. The difference between him getting there and not getting there was like half a second.
It was, and the defensive player had about a 5-metre head start there, so it just shows how quick he is, and that takes him tied at the top of the goal-scoring leaderboard with Simon Bell now, both on 8 goals.
Well, and you're also Nostradamus. You said he was drifting. You said he was dangerous. What does he do 30 seconds later? Exhibits exactly that. Beautiful work from Mark Casemiro. That's an equaliser, 1-1 on the scoreline. Beautiful play from number 7 for Casuarina. Dangerous, fast. Can't train that speed.
You can't. But he didn't have to have his teammates pass him that ball there. That was a mispass there by Port Darwin. So they're their own worst enemies right now.
Right. Yeah, well played, Mark Casemiro, to get in there in front of the Port Darwin defender and then skip it over the very reliable Dominic Price for that goal. Lovely work.
Will we have a response, an instant response? Oh.
We may do. Referees has no problem with that. Coombe comes out.
They're exposed here.
They are. We'll see what happens. Ball comes down. Sampson. Mashamango on the run. Falls for... Sampson comes back in. Outside the box. Fanning says something. Quinn says something again. He gets a yellow card. He has that in his game. Dylan Quinn. Wholehearted player. And a yellow card in the 33rd minute of this match. Had indiscretion there from Sampson, Mashamango, number 13, the defender for Port Darwin. And so we're going to have a set piece here. The wall will be formed shortly. Bit of conversations happening with all the players. And Daniel Marimba will make the long trek out to retrieve the ball. That's unusual. Usually there's 3 or 4 players around the ball. Give me a sense that someone's going to take it, but not the one I think. This time is a solo. He said it's mine, and that mine is number 12, Daniel Marimba. Right, the wall's being formed. There are 5 in the wall. There's the, I think it's Leonard or Hamilton hanging off that. No, it's Leonard. Making it 6 in the wall. He's been told to move away, which he does. And he'll stand very close to Fannin, the number 19 for Port Darwin. Okay, referee goes back, jogs into position, turns to the whistle. Here we go. Moves in, takes the shot. Oh, my goodness. Not far off from taking in that left-hand top corner of the goal. And the keeper had no chance had it done that. But Price just watched it go past. Fortuitously for them, it remains 1-1 on the scoreboard in the 35th minute mark. So a restart from Dominic Price for Port Darwin. Last 5 minutes have been very much Casuarina's. Seem to have come back with some more purpose, a bit more energy, I think, too, in the midfield, Daniel.
Yeah, Port absolutely cannot let them get back into the game here. They've got to hold out to half-time and hopefully keep it 1-1 or steal another goal before they go in.
Yeah, I think that's the intention. They've had a very positive mindset tonight, Port Darwin, so I'm pretty sure it's probably look for a goal. There goes Quinn in there. Nice strong play from him. Kogi on the ball, puts it through. Nice idea. Just a bit too much punch on the ball, so it'll run through to the keeper, McLennan. McLennan goes back to Seb Smith. Seb Smith puts it across. Nice ball right across to Tran. Tran, lovely first touch, brings that under control. Well played from him. He finds Leonard. Leonard goes back to Tran. Tran's looking for an opportunity. And Casemiro comes back.
They've got to be careful. They're being drawn out. Casuarina's purposefully drawing out Port Darwin's midfield to create room, and Marky Casemiro's dropping into that space and receiving that ball.
Insights from our expert analyst today. That's Daniel, coach of Mindle Aces. And thank you, Daniel, for giving your time and your insights here tonight. Much appreciated. Leonard on the ball now in the midfield. Little double tag team defensive work there from Afridi. And Profiti and Roberto doing the work there. Savas in the middle there. Roberto in again, giving second and third efforts as he does every week when he's playing. Right, Ben Lingen on the ball. He looks up, and that finds Quinn's head. Quinn goes back to McAvoy. McAvoy back to Savas. Savas would like that pass again. Goes in. You have to get on the ball and make a defensive game there. Doesn't. Get some pressure on.
Late challenge.
And Samson. Mashamango's gone down. He called Curtis Smith up. Is he going to the card? He's given him one option. He's having a chat to him. He's on a warning. It looked reckless, Daniel, to me.
It did. It did. Very reckless. I'm surprised he's only gotten away with a warning there.
Right, on the ball is Dominic Price. He moves in. He's got a lovely style. That's a right foot that's given plenty of distance. A push in the back from Casuarina. So the ball will fall for Port Darwin. Spectators are happy with that, the Port Darwin fans. We're in stage 3 of the road map to the new normal, so we only allowed 500 in the venue. We've got plenty more, thousands more watching at home or in their car or wherever they may be on their screens. And a beautiful night like tonight, you can be outdoors enjoying the Northern Territory dry season up here in the tropics. School holidays here too, Daniel. So you see a lot of different number plates, not as many as you'd normally would see. But I saw a couple of Victorians, they were keeping their head down. I wonder why.
I can imagine why they'd be keeping their head down at the moment.
Yeah, poor buggers are getting tarred with all one brush, the COVID-19 brush. But a lot of regional Victorians have had it off early before the lockdown came, and it's pretty much a metropolitan lockdown at this stage anyhow. Right, goal scorer's on the ball. He's got a wall formed, and he moves. He's going to leave it for Roberto. No, he doesn't. Roberto dubbies over the top. Now it's going to be him. He has that shot, and he puts it in. It is a brace. What a beautiful taken shot. To your point, Daniel, they have a really assertive and what we call a positive mindset tonight, and there's a good example of it. They almost fooled themselves, certainly fooled me, but they had a jump over from Roberto, a pass from one player back to Profiti, and he just put it away. What a beautifully placed ball.
That was a routine. They were doing that at training. You could see it. There was no way that was random. They've been working on that, and it's come off. You can see why. Put in the effort, you get the results.
Daniel says it's a training run. I love it. That's so much from a coach. I'll just take it as being really special, but these guys have worked hours on it. That's what I like.
They have.
Well
they
played.
have.
Port Darwin on the 39-minute mark have a 2-1 scoreline over our previous, our existing premiers and champions, Casuarina.
It's so important now that they don't get baited out. They don't allow Casuarina the space in behind.
Well, Daniel, we always talk about the 5 minutes before half-time being desperately important. This is going to be doubly so here.
5 minutes before half-time and the 5 minutes after you score a goal. I mean, exposure.
And in this case, it'll be the same.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some wise commentary there from our expert analyst here in this round 7 match featuring Port Darwin, who have a 2-1 scoreline advantage over Casuarina. Casuarina on the ball now, one of their young stars there, Coombe, showing all his dancing feet. Quinn comes in with a big right foot, size 12, and brings that to a close. Roberto, who's been everywhere, puts the ball away to a goal scorer, but a double goal scorer. That is fantastic for number 14, Andre Profiti. Watch him. Drifts on that right-hand side.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Very smart by Port Darwin. They just need to slow it down a bit here. Casuarina's desperate for a response, and they have to deny them.
Yeah, it shows the maturity. Shows that they're adapting to their coach's directions and intention. As you said at the early part too, they're just settling on their personnel as well, mate.
And then they give it straight back to them just like that.
Yeah, the yin and yang of life.
The yin and yang of life. But there was no pressure on him at all there. He could have just held the ball and burnt probably another minute off the clock.
Yep. So we'll see what happens. Tran on the ball now. It's still down in the right place if you're a Port Darwin player. In the Casuarina defensive third. Tran looks up. He also puts in a long one that doesn't find the intended target. But Curtis Smith in there early with some nice energetic play. He's running out of people and space. That's a whole ball challenge. Well done from Savas. Savas puts it back in. McAvoy moves in early. Nice little left footer over the top. Lovely skill from him. He's got that in here. This is the goal scorer. Looking for a hat-trick. No, but he'll play it back. Oakland has a shot. Left footer. Inside of his instep and doesn't find the goal. But nice enterprising play.
Look at Mark Casemiro here. Here he goes.
He's such a speed merchant. That ball will find him. He turns on the afterburners. Off he goes. Fannin in there. It's outside the box. Fannin got ball and player there. Referees pulled him up. So it's outside the box. Casemiro still on the ground. 42nd minute mark. To your point, Daniel, they have to be so switched on here. Know where the men are. Know who's drifting. Anticipate every move from the rowdies here. If you're a coach, this is a coach killer time, this. You're hoping your players are switched on. 42 minutes and 43 seconds in this match here, round 7. 2-1 to Port Darwin over Casuarina. Can Casuarina get one back? Can Port Darwin keep them out? 2 people in the wall. Left foot. Looks like Leonard or Smith. I think it's Leonard. No, it's Smith. He's good on his left foot too. Bit of space there. Price has got his wall set. Referee's still in there having a chat to people. Moves away. Now he's going over to his position. Port Darwin need to be on the money. Casuarina need the goal. Moves in. Nice chip over the top. Finds the header Quinn. Quinn gets rid of it, but only as far as Kogi. But Kogi now has it through. This is the double score, goal scorer. He swats over now, number 14. Lovely skill from him. Andrew Savas on the run. Tran with nice work, but this will run out of play. No, Seb Smith will get it first. Oakley moves in, but only as far as they say, Raimondo is then dispossessed. That could have been an opportunity for Port Darwin. Unfortunately, his first touch eluded him there. Hamilton on the ball now in the 44-minute mark on the Northcrest scoreboard side. Now that's loose. Marimba in there. Fannin comes across. Great work from the very experienced number 19 for Port Darwin. Terry Fannin. Not only was it a good interception, he's also got a deflection, so the ball's going to remain with Port Darwin. I don't know why Sampson is running after it. But anyhow, Sampson, you just need to delay it, mate. He's on it now. Goes back to Fannin. Fannin will look forward. Take a little run here. Someone needs to drop back and help him out. Puts a dipping one over the top. Roberto needs to put pressure on. He does that. Comes on the inside, keeping the player go wide. Wide goes to Hamilton. Hamilton plays it across to Van Lingen. Port Darwin will now have to interrupt this patient play, and they've done that. Raimundo Jose showing all the skills. Passes inside. Oakland to Tobias Kogi. And Tobias, nice pressure from Port Darwin, keeping in the right part of the paddock. And Ryan Newell will try and make that an advantage. He moves forward. Nice balanced footballer is he. And Ryan gets hit from behind, expecting something from the ref, doesn't get it. So this now remains a ball with the claret and blue. Tran goes back. We're now into time added. 45 minutes of regulation time has passed. We'll see how much time is added. I wouldn't expect much. Braden McLennan on the ball now. Goes to Van Lingen. Van Lingen finds Leonard. Leonard goes across to Tran. And to Daniel's point earlier, the expert analyst here, what Casuarina are trying to do is to suck the midfield out of their positions. At the moment, we could throw one of those half-price Indian rugs over all of them there, mate. They're all in one place. Okay, here we go. Coombe on the ball, puts a nice pass through. Fannin gets his leg in there. That's nice, skillful, experienced defensive work. It's always best you defend to stay on your feet, except then.
And that's a couple in a row now from Terry that he's gone out, and he's setting an example there for his teammates. He's saying, I don't want to go in there at 2-2. I want it to stay 2-1.
Yeah, it's fantastic from the very experienced Terry Fannin.
Follow my lead.
Yep. Do as I do. Okay, that's a shot. And Ryan Newell could love that again. Ball still in play. Raimundo Jose on it. Raimundo, don't muck around with it. Now Coombe has it. Nice intervention from Kogi. Goes back into that dangerous spot. McAvoy gets his foot to it. Goes as high as the light poles. Comes back to Tran. Roberto puts some pressure on him. Good work from him. There's two in there. That's the sort of effort you want from Port Darwin. Keeping it in the midfield, keeping out of the danger zone. Ryan Newell again will put it through. This is where it is dangerous. Mark Casemiro already has one. Puts it across the goal. Samson Mashamango puts it out. Play still in play. Time added. We must be in the second minute of time added. Referee's going to let this throw-in go in. I don't know how much time is left. Ball comes in. Tangle of players. Remains with, I think, can't see his number from there, but Port Darwin. Right. Okay, corner kick. Dangerous time. Must be switched on to Claret and Blues. Early one taken. Comes in, drifts in. Plenty of the height to the ball. Ball still in that dangerous place. He has a shot. Comes off a deflection. Will be a corner kick, this time on the grandstand side. What an exciting, intense last few minutes of this half. All time added. Looks like Ryan Newell will take this. He does. It'll be a right footer. Switch on. All players. Absolutely required. Ball comes in. Goes in. Header's got there. Cleaned off the line. And into Dominic Price's hands. Dominic Price is dispossessed. This will go over the line. And it will be a Port Darwin ball. No need to run, Tobias. Okay, there goes the whistle from the referee. That was a really exciting last 5 minutes. Hope you take all that in. Take that all in. Enjoy that first half. 3 goals. Got to be happy with that. 3 really good goals. 2-1 to Port Darwin over Casuarina. Port Darwin is in the box seat at the moment. They need to keep this up for 45 minutes plus and see if they can bring home their first win for the season. Casuarina will head into what we call the grand sheds because they're on the ground, and they'll have a talk with their coach, and we'll see what they have for the second half. My name is Bruce Slaughter. We'll be back after this short break. We'll pick this little half apart and have some expert comments and insights from our expert analyst in Daniel and see what he thinks the second half will give us as spectators and as people who love the game. Short break. Well, it's half time here at Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium on the main pitch. We've got some of the subs kicking the ball around in a beautiful night here in the dry season. Friday night football, couldn't ask for better conditions. Had a really interesting first half. 3 goals, always happy with that. Let's just have a look at some of the highlights from that first half, and then we'll talk to our expert analysts and sort of pick it apart and see what we think Nostradamus-like will be the next 45 minutes. That is Coombe on the ball now, who will be dangerous. That's a lovely ball through. If he's got time and place, he does. He turns on the right foot. He'll have a shot. Of course he will. That's Daniel Marimba. Seb Smith on the overlap. He ignores him, goes into Coombe. Coombes on the ball. And great work from the keeper. Won't get it because this ball's gone through to Savas on the run. Savas puts it across. It goes into Oakland. Oakland has a hands to go across. This is Enfridi. Goes in shot. It's a goal.
And it's in.
It is a goal. And a player I mentioned earlier on, so dangerous as he drifts in and out. That's Andre Profiti, number 14. And he puts that past. Won't get it because this ball's gone through to Savas on the run. Savas puts it across. It goes into Oakland. Oakland has a hands to go across. This is Enfridi. Goes in shot. It's a goal.
And it's in.
It is a goal. And a player I mentioned earlier on, so dangerous as he drifts in and out. That's Andre Profiti, number 14. And he puts that past to... Well, he attempted to go to Marimba. Fannin will have to go back. Mark Casimiro's there early. That is what he can do. That is sensational. Mark Casimiro, you are a out-and-out striker. Deadly. Absolutely deadly. The difference between him getting there and not getting there to... Well, he attempted to go to Marimba. Fannin will have to go back. Mark Casimiro's there early. That is what he can do. That is sensational. Mark Casimiro, you are a out-and-out striker. Deadly. Absolutely deadly. The difference between him getting there and not getting there, he's got a wall formed and he moves. He's going to leave it for Roberto. No, he doesn't. Roberto dummies over the top. Now it's going to be him. He has that shot and he puts it in. It is a brace. What a beautiful taken shot. To your point, Daniel, they have a really assertive and what we call a positive mindset tonight, and there's a good example of it. They almost fooled themselves, certainly fooled me, but they had a jump over from Roberto, a pass. He's got a wall formed, and he moves. He's going to leave it for Roberto. No, he doesn't. Roberto dummies over the top. Now it's going to be him. He has that shot, and he puts it in. It is a brace. What a beautiful taken shot. To your point, Daniel, they have a really assertive and what we call a positive mindset tonight, and there's a good example of it. They almost fooled themselves, certainly fooled me, but they had a jump over from Roberto, a pass from... There was a great little snapshot of the first half. I've got Daniel with him, our expert analyst. Daniel, there were a lot of stuff in there came true, you know, but the most important thing for me was that Port Darwin applied themselves for 45 minutes, had a really positive mindset, and the score reflects that, 2-1. And you said when it went 1-1, they've got to keep Casuarina out, and you sort of just said, oh, and get a goal themselves. That's exactly what they did.
It is, and it came from a free kick as well, so they pressed high up the pitch, they were fouled, and they converted it. So, look, they don't come off all the time, but like I said, they clearly practiced that one. There was no random event there, so they've done well.
No random event. So, listen, you're in the Port Darwin huddle there as a coach. What are you saying to these guys as they go out for this next 45 minutes, mate?
Keep the intensity. The game plan they've gone out with has worked, right? They've put a lot of intensity into their tackles. They've said to Casuarina, we're going to let you know we're here. When you have the ball, we're going to sit quite deep and restrict the space that you have. We're not going to allow one of your quickest players, Mark Casuarina, to have the space he needs to operate. But in saying that, the goal they conceded, they did allow that space. So they can't fall asleep. And look, Port Darwin played against Mindle last week, and I hope they don't fall asleep again there because they did have a lead on us. So we know they can get ahead. The question is, can they hold it? Yep.
Well, that's a great way to introduce the second half. Will Port Darwin maintain so-called the rage and get through this next 45? Casuarina, Mark Casimiro is the standout. He is so dangerous. But they have Coombe and Marimba on this side as well. So if you take your eye off them, they can also hurt you.
Exactly, and if you look at Mark, he's not really playing centrally. He's actually loading up one of those sides with Marimba and Coombe on the other side. So when you've got two of them, two players of that standard or quality against any right back or left back, they will win that duel. It's just, will they have that support there in the midfield coming onto the goal and coming onto the 18-yard box?
Well put, mate. So we'll get back onto this game very shortly. We'll swing the cameras around and take this game. I'm really looking forward to this next 45 minutes. Can Port Darwin hang on for their first win of the season? or will the current champions and premiers have a say in that? Let's have a look. We're into it? Lovely. All right, I'm looking forward to it for a lot of reasons. And I mean, the least of those reasons is to see some of the personal battles that were already evolving in that first half, but now to see whether or not, as a team, those little individual battles will feed into a team performance that Port Darwin goes home with a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, the last time Port Darwin beat Casuarina was roughly a year ago to date. What was it? Round 12 last year, 6th of July. So it's been a year since the win. Maybe that's a bit of a sign. Let's see if they can do it again.
Okay. Well, Roberto Sickles on the ball. He goes back to an early sub in Andrew Savis, and I know that Quinn often goes back to the centre of defence, but not having Declan O'Shea there just shows how committed this team's been today for me. Fannin on the ball, and the dangerous Casemiro in there. And to Daniel, your point, this next 5 minutes is very, very dangerous. Samson Masamengo again having a little problem with the throw-in. So Hamilton will take it up. Back to Hamilton again. Ball comes in. Quinn's there. Nice play from Quinn. Got his head to it. Puts it out wide. And that's Tobias Kogi. Oh, look at that work from Roberto Sickles. He's put it back onto an advancing Kogi. That, unlucky there because that could have been a nice through ball to an advancing Roberto Sickles. Right, now, Hamilton on the ball again. Leonard puts one over. Comes back to Leonard again. And the pressure here, Tran and Roberto, but Tran nice and calmly plays it back. Van Lingen in the centre. Newell back across. Seb Smith on the ball. Andrew Savis on another touch early in the second half. Oakland on the ball there. Only as far as Tran. Looks up. Casuarina defenders now put a foot race on. And Tobias Kogi there gets the ball back. And he plays into McAvoy. McAvoy nicely played to Jose. Jose looks up and finds Roberto. Now Roberto has an option to go left or right. He's going to go left. Nice interplay with him and Savis. Savis goes back to Jose. And only as far as Ryan Newell. So Casuarina on the ball there. We're still both teams feeling themselves out in the each other out in this first 3 minutes of the second half. Round 7 match just joined us. Casuarina running from right to left in their black and white traditional check with the black socks. And they're known as the Rowdies. That's Casuarina Football Club. Current premiers and champions here in the Darwin Men's Premier League. Had a fabulous season last year. We're clearly the best team. And won the premiership. And then followed it up in a very difficult, but in the end, successful championship finals series. Right, Seb Smith puts the ball through. That's a pretty hopeful one. No, it wasn't Seb Smith. It was Van Lingen. So it'll roll over the goal line down at the McMillans Road end of this Larrakia Park main pitch. Darwin Football Stadium has these pitches running north-south, of course, and we're bordered by Abala Road, or the car park end, or this end here, which is a very busy road here, main road in McMillan's Road. So Price puts it back into play, young Dominic. So let's see what Port Darwin can do in this early part of the second half. McAvoy gets a ball to it early. Unfortunately there for the Port Darwin players, it's fallen the way of Casuarina, and they'll patiently play this out as they normally do. Coombe on the ball now. He'll dance around, puts an early ball to Mark Casemiro. Casemiro's pushed by Savis, and Savis will watch as Dylan Newell plays the ball back. Very animated performance there by actor in a great supporting role. He does get involved.
They've fallen asleep there, Port Darwin, allowed the quick free kick to be taken.
They shouldn't worry about what referees do, for goodness sake. Anyhow, that one's gone well and truly over both the goals and the protective nets behind the goals. And just fallen over behind the tree there. That tree was a beautiful big tree, Daniel, with branches everywhere, and then Cyclone Marcus came through and thought, no, you're not. I'm going to be a barber on you. And quite a few trees and their limbs come down from that tree.
It's been quite a good goalkeeper the last few weeks as well. I've seen the tree make a number of saves.
It has, mate. It has. It's been very good. And he's had discussions, actually, with Liverpool. This ball comes through now. And Oakland in on that one, nice and strong. Double goal scorer there for Port Darwin. Number 14, Andre Profiti. And Andre backs back into position. Hamilton on the ball now, throws it down. I could be wrong, but I think Hamilton's come out in number 15 just for this half. He might have had a jersey malfunction, so to speak. And he's wearing 15. He's with the beard here. Really experienced player for Casuarina. Quinn could have done better. Marimba's on the run now. Goes across to Coombe. Coombe in, but Tobias Kogi in there. Nice little battle between those two. And this one won comprehensively by Tobias Kogi. So the run's on now. It's Ramondo Jose. Nice skill from him on the right foot. He should have gone then. He's going to go with his left. Will he go with his left? He dances again. Roberta Sickles goes across. This goal's played on. McAvoy has an opportunity. Dances in behind him. Could have been a third from Profiti. Wow, what just happened then? Everyone went to go then. Oakland, I think it was as well, in there. Not McAvoy. So here we go again. Port set up again. Can they make this one count? McAvoy will play advantage. No, he doesn't. He pulls it back. A few shots on goal there, Daniel.
Shots on goal, but it all came from a great tackle there from Tobias. He made a tackle. He was committed. His team were exposed if he didn't get that tackle, and then he had a great release. So credit to young Tobias there for that.
Yeah, well spotted. It did start with him. So it's got sub going to be taken with this break and play. Coming from the field is looks like Jacob Leonard. Right, as he turns around, I can see his number plate, or it could be Curtis Smith. It looks like it's Jacob. Yeah, Jacob Leonard's come from the pitch. He's been replaced by someone we all know here in Darwin, in Iman Muklas, number 10. So dangerous on both the set pieces and his distribution around there. He's straight into it, already talking to the team, already starting to position players. I can guarantee you the communication levels are going to go up. That's for sure.
Let's hope Port Darwin aren't left regretting that one. They really could have put that one away there.
Yeah, good point, Daniel. Okay, Jose puts it drifting over the top. It does find the head. Oh, well played. To a player that's got that in him. Dylan Quinn. He's such a talented player. If you just forget what referees did, concentrate on the game. Look at that. It was a lovely run, drifted in behind the defenders. Ball was placed on him. He could have put that in the net there. So a wayward header in the end, but really, really well run from Dylan Quinn, number 4, in the central defensive role now. He's back in that position for Port Darwin. They're running from left to right on your screen. They are the Claret and Blue. Have a 2-1 scoreline advantage over Casuarina at the moment. That's Savas, the sub. Looks up and forgets that his player's not there at the moment. He'd like to have that one back again. Right, first time Muklas has been on the ball. He won it back. demands it, but Ryan Newell goes, I'm going to go this way, turns on the inside, looks up, dips across to Marimba. Marimba against Sampson. And Sampson Mashamango on the ball now. Tries to take him on, tries to take them all on, tries to take them all on again, puts the ball through. Well played, Sampson. Nice, skillful work from Profiti. He's really a talent. Ball comes over to him now. That's well worked by Port Darwin. Can they make this pay? Goes to Oakland. Oakland finds Roberto. Roberto pulls up. Thought he was offside. And Braden puts it out because he can. And that's gone into the next suburb down or the airport on the runway. So the ball's been collected. And the ball boy, John Dean, puts it back into play. Just lovely work then from Andre Profiti then. He's just such a sensible player, the Albanian. The way he just played that back and then over the top and made space. Just got so much time when he's on the ball. He's on it now. That's the guy we're talking about. Puts a right cross in. It's dangerously bouncing. Ramondo Jose will pick it up. He goes back to Tobias Kogi. Puts in a drifter over the back of the goal. And the Port Darwin spectators very excited there, thinking he'd gone into goal. And it's always good to have that excitement from your spectators. They are willing their team home tonight. 56 minutes. So much of this game to go. The tension will build as every minute passes, particularly on the Port Darwin side. McLennan with a kick out. Finds Ryan Newell. That misses Ryan's head, but does bounce towards Marimba. Fanning's there. Fannin is very measured. Not Oakland. Profiti comes back. A little bit of a mix-up between 19 and 14 for Port Darwin, but not dangerously mixed up. Okay, ball goes back again. This is Curtis Smith. Curtis Smith will let it run out, and there'll be a change of possession. And this will fall for Port Darwin. It looks like Oakland on the ball there. Curtis Smith gets there early. It is Oakland. Now it's a nice win. If that ball can be kept by Savas, he looks up. Who's going to give it to him? Now he goes back to a safer option, and McAvoy's skilled. Goes on to Infrit. Profiti puts it through to Roberto. Roberto Sickles on goal. Left foot, he'll have a go here. He'll have a go. And that's a penalty. Inside the box, brought down. No hesitation. Hang on.
I think the linesman's saying that one's offside there. They're very lucky. Port Darwin asleep, though. They've got a lot of players committed.
That's unfortunate. Just clever play by Imam Muklas, of course. Get in there and took an early one, put it into Roberto Sickles' back. Roberto was just walking back, so he's going to get a yellow card for that, for being in the play. He won't be affected by it. That was a really good opportunity by him then. Just offside a little. Enterprising stuff from Port Darwin. There was two opportunities they could have had. Will that come back and be an issue later in this game? By all rights, they could be 4-1 up, mate.
They could be. They could be 4-1 up. I just go back to that attempt before. If it's 3-1, it's a different game right now.
Yep. So, we're in the 58th minute. It's been a lot of Port Darwin in this game so far. Right, Marimba, number 12 for Casuarina. Puts the ball across to Coombe. Coombe puts on a nice little fancy back heel, but only as far. That's nice work from Oakland. But unfortunately, didn't work for Port Darwin. Tobias Kogi looking to put it through, but unfortunately not to the right player. Puts it through to Seb Smith for Casuarina. So Casuarina still have it here. They'll do some patient build-up. A lot of conversation. Tran's now just gone down. He's in pain. He just dropped to the ground. Got to be cramp? Yes, it is.
He's only been on the pitch a couple of minutes, but there's one player I've heard more from Casuarina's team than anyone else, and that's Iman Muklas, who's just come on. He's already quite vocal, and up to this point, Casuarina have been a very quiet side.
Yeah, so I think the substitution that was made by Casuarina was probably for that reason. And not only is he a great player, but he will fire them up. Iman Muklas, number 10, we're talking about for Casuarina still talking away, talking to the keeper.
We saw it when we played against Casuarina, and he was actually in goals, but he absolutely marshalled that defensive line. His communication was outstanding there, and because of that, we really struggled to break through there. So it goes to show that it's not all about your feet and your hands. It's also about your voice and the clear instructions he was giving to his team.
Well put. So we've got some work being played out on Darren Habits out there. And Darren's putting in the work on Quinlan Tran, who just dropped to the ground like he'd been hit by a sniper.
I think it's interesting to note. I was having a look at both the teams and their squad lists in the Premier League, and Port Darwin have had more individual players take the pitch in the Premier League than any other team. So they've actually had 32 different people take the pitch for their Premier team. The next highest was Casuarina with 27. So it just goes to show that Lee Addison and Port Darwin are still trying to work out who is the best in which position, who is our Premier team, and you'll probably get that with a new coach coming in. He's just trying to see who can step up to the level of Premier League. But in terms of fluidity, Port Darwin have a number of different players in the team every week. So I think if they can start getting a consistent core there and start locking down that 16, there's going to be a lot of stability through the team, and we're seeing some of that tonight.
I totally agree with you. I was going to say McAvoy and Oakland and Jose and the double goal scorer in Profiti are all examples of that. They weren't there at the beginning of the year. They are now. And you're right, you're getting some consistency of play. And from a coach's point of view, he is new to the club. It's only 7 weeks into the season. Nice sportsmanship from Port Darwin. Only 7 weeks into the season. And I think you're spot on, Daniel. I think he's getting closer and closer to what he wants and where they want him.
Exactly, and actually Port Darwin this week in the reserves in the second division, they don't have a game. So he's had 2 whole squads of hungry players, which is a great position to be in as a coach.
Yep. Right, Curtis Smith on a run. And Fannin, with all his experience, wins the ball and wins the attention of the referee. Well played to Terry. So, Quinn in. Where's this going? Trying to find Roberto Sickles, and only goes as far as the substitute in number 5 for Casuarina, who's come on for Tran. And number 5, I think, is Bo Thomas. Looks like it. He wins that ball, plays it back. Ryan Newell on the ball. Iman Muklas with one of those lovely right footers. Perfectly placed, but the story of the night, just good efforts from Port Darwin. And this will be an infringement and a success in that regard for Port Darwin. Accidental collision to come together between Marimba and Kogi. So Quinn on the ball again. This time on the other side, the Northcrest scoreboard side moves in. Puts the ball again, hopefully finds a first touch chest from Jose. And unfortunately, it's now a possibility of a counter. This tackle will be important. Goes around him with ease, puts the ball in, and Savas coming back on the collect, picks it up and retrieves the situation, but only as far as Muklas number 10 on the edge of the box there. I want to thank our sponsors, the Northern Territory Government, for their support. Also Hyundai, great supporters of football and for a long, long, long time. Love their work up here in the NT with us. Also to Northcrest, looking after our scoreboard and our development areas. Steel Line, who sells steel all over the NT. Always do it with service over and above. And NTF, if you're in the game for construction, they are the supply specialists in the construction industry. NTF. Also down there to Sharon and Rebel, thank you for your support throughout the year and all the little extra bits you do for us. We appreciate it forever. And thank you to Umbro and Good Sports as well. My name is Bruce Stalder. I've got Daniel with me. He's giving some expert insights of this game. It's a 2-1 scoreline to Port Darwin. They're in the midfield now. That is the guy who scored 2 goals for them. So he has 2-0. And so does 2-1, and so does Port Darwin. Fannin puts the ball over, looking for Savas. It'll run out of play. There's the sub there on the ball now. That's Bo Thomas. Fannin in again with an assured defensive effort. Right, Mark Casemiro on the ball. What will he do with it? He rolls over it. Sampson comes in with an early tackle. Ball goes to well controlled by Roberta Sickles. McAvoy's on it. Nice scam. Lovely skills from him, that left footer. Goes to Savas. Savas goes to Jose. Back to Savas in the midfield, who's got a bit of space. He goes out to an advancing, but intercepted by Daniel Marimba. So Tobias Kogi can't go any further with that. Coming up to the 65th minute, Port Darwin running from right to left on your screens in the claret and blue have a 2-1 scoreline over round 7 here. Darwin's Men's Premier League. Mark Casemiro, dangerous as ever. Puts the ball through. Advantage being played. Daniel Marimba on it and misplaced that kick. 2 players are down. Mark Casemiro is in a bit of pain, as is Dylan Quinn, number 4. So Grace Lane goes out for Port Darwin and Darren goes out. Has he been called? Yes, he has. Darren will go out for Casuarina. Roberto Sickles taking this break in time to give Andrew Savas some instructions. I'm seeing some space in the midfield for Port Darwin, which I don't think I saw in the first half. Am I right there, Daniel?
Yeah, the game's certainly opening up more, and I think it's actually having more of an advantage for Casuarina here, because the more it opens up, the more they're getting on the ball. You can see Mums getting on the ball a bit. Mark Casemiro just before then getting on the ball. I think prior to that he hadn't touched in nearly 10 minutes, and then he's got 2 touches. So the game's opening up again. Let's hope he can continue to play here.
Now, if Casuarina are doing that and they're going to benefit from the opening up of the game, as you put it, what are you saying to your Port Darwin side if you're Lee Addison, their coach?
Don't force it, right? You're 2-1 up, don't force it. There's no need to play the miracle ball over the top and try and create another goal, because you can win the game 2-1. You should just be stretching them, working Casuarina around the pitch, especially at the back. You've got a good goalkeeper who's good at his feet. Use the space, but certainly don't force that ball.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. And we're at the 66-minute mark, halfway mark of that 66-minute, and we'll be definitely having some time added on, given we had a collision midfield. Both players are down, trainers are out with them. And Grace Lane working on the Port Darwin player. Darren, working on the Mark Casemiro for Casuarina.
I've got to say, I've been quite impressed with Andrew Savas since he came on as well. He came on very early in the game. I wasn't sure what we'd get from him. It's his debut here, but he looks very, very comfortable, and a lot of the composed players come from him just receiving and distributing in the middle there for Port Darwin. Absolutely.
Well spotted. This is not looking good. Stretcher coming out. And this is not good at all. Dylan Quinn looks like he's going to be put on the stretcher.
And Dylan was covering for Declan, was he not?
He was.
In centre-back, so that's 2 players now in the centre-back role. Who's going to be the one to fill in there now?
Yeah, that's a big ask for the club. They lost very early on, I'd say in the first 5 minutes, Declan O'Shea. So they reshuffled their pack, put Quinn back into the central defensive role, and now that is Quinn coming off there, number 4. Dylan Quinn on the stretcher. I hope the bloke's okay. And he's gave him a yellow card. Thank you, referee. That was with gave him a yellow card and a red, didn't he?
It did look like he gave me a yellow card and a red. I'm a little bit confused here.
I think he did get a yellow earlier, so he's given him a yellow for the tackle. So it looks like Port Darwin are not only going to be in strife, they're going to be down to 10 men. Right, looks like there'll be a sub made first of all. Someone with a bit of height's coming on.
Yeah, even the Port Darwin players are a little bit confused here. They're just trying to clarify. Was he just sent off?
So the tackle seen as being a hard tackle. He's given him a yellow card and he's gone a red.
He's given a yellow card both ways.
Okay. So they're down to 10 men. And the player that went down, Mark Casemiro, has also been given a yellow. So 68-minute mark, coming up to 69 now. There'll be some time added on after this break and play. 2-1 scoreline to Port Darwin. Now they're up against it. This will have to dig deep, the club, in the culture that Lee Addison is building. And their new president, John Dean, are building within the club. Will be tested here. We've seen enough over the last few weeks to see that they've got the personnel. and they've got the determination to get there. This will be a real roller coaster, 20 minutes, Daniel. Real roller coaster.
Absolutely. Well, Casuarina are feeding off space, and what's going to give you more space than playing against 10 men? So it'll be interesting to see how.
Well, you know what my question is to you. When you go down to 10, what are you doing? What's your plan? You're just going to get behind the ball, bust it?
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's been working for them. Getting behind the ball's worked for them now. They're ahead in the game, fortunately, so it's not like they have to chase with 10 men. They've just got to defend with 10 men.
Okay.
They've got to make every ball count. They can't be punting it long. They've got to be really smart with how they play this.
Let's see how they go then. Some expert comments there. We'll see what evolves over this next 20 minutes.
It looks like they've left 3 at the back here, Port Darwin.
Yep,
and as you see, it's 3v3 straight away.
Yep. Okay, the ball comes through to Sampson. And Mashamango puts a nice one out over here. Fannin now found Profiti. Profiti's going to play nice skill. Ball's over, thrown in. Coombe on the ball, turns in, puts it over the top. Casemiro on it. Casemiro plays back to Ryan Newell. Ryan Newell is brought down by a stray boot from Roberto Sickles. Now this is exactly the dangerous place for Imam Nucleus, who will take this and has put so many of these in the back of the net. It's not humorous, as they say. So we will see. Anyhow, war's been formed by Port Darwin. They're down to 10 men. Collision of 2 players before both players got yellow cards. But unfortunately for Dylan Quinn, who came from the field on a stretcher, we'll get an update on his injury and hope he's recovering. And it's not too serious, but Dylan was given a red as well, so that's why they're down to 10. The most experienced player out there on the Casuarina side is on the ball now, Imam Nucleus, and equally dangerous as well as being experienced. Number 10, let's see what he does. He's got to get around this wall first. Whistle goes, he moves in, puts it in. Price is down to it. You can see on goal, on shot, Price was there, well played to Price. Ball still hanging in the air, just will not leave, it does now. Goes back to him, he'll have another go. And when I say he, I'm talking about Imam Nucleus. Now Dominic has the ball. Plenty of time, Price. Take your time, mate. Take your time. 70 minutes, 72nd minute now in this round 7 clash. 2-1 scoreline to Port Darwin over Casuarina. Really been a fantastic game of football to be a neutral as part of. Coombe in there. Good effort from the youngster. Parakos Coombe in there. The dancing feet of number 16 for Casuarina. Right, Oakland will move over. Experienced player. He's going to have a throw in here. There's the double goal scorer on the ball now. Puts it back to Roberto Sickles, who's been really, really busy this game. Couldn't play last week. That's all right. He'll go back. McAvoy's gone back to the back. I think they moved back to Voy, which is a really smart move. Such an accomplished player. They're just going to have to work harder. There's Roberto. He was on the ball before. Now he's on the other side of the field. Well played by him.
Work hard and play smart.
Yes, great point. Smart is so key here. So key. Right. Ball's over on what we call the North Crest scoreboard side of Larrakia Park, Darwin Football Stadium's main pitch. It comes now across to Parakos Coombe, over his head to Hamilton. Hamilton puts a nice little skipping one in front of him. Keeper will come out and collect this calmly and assuredly, and he'll move forward with patience. No urgency here. They're down to 10 men. They've got a 2-1 score line. That one's gone higher than it has longer, but will eventually come bouncing down out of the heavens, the night sky, and into well played Fannin. Last man defending, well played, mate. On the ground now, gets up. Typical of his efforts in the last 2 weeks. He's been absolutely stellar at the back there for Port Darwin. Right. Imam Nucleus on the ball, looking for Marimba. Marimba's, again, early intervention from the captain, McAvoy. That's the sort of smart play we're talking about. Now, Monday Jose on the ball. Goes down. Holding his face. Referee goes over, see what that was about. Thought there was a stray arm there.
He'll be lying on the ground as long as he can just to chew up some of that time.
And the referee knows that. Gone over. Do I need to call in the trainer? No, he's saying no. So Grace Lane was up and about, ready to go. Right, he's up now. 74-38. That'll just be time out of though, Daniel. So into the coming up to the 75th minute mark, 15 minutes to go. 10 men have Port Darwin up against the full complement of Casuarina. So 10 v 11, but the blue and claret side running from left to right on your screen have a 2-1 advantage on the scoreboard. Okay, throw in not correct from the most experienced player. So it'll go back to one of the most inexperienced players out there in Tobias Kogi. Right, Port Darwin with the ball. Possession's the name of the game here. Daniel, I would imagine, keep the ball, keep it away from them. Them being Casuarina. That's exactly what didn't happen. Ball's gone straight to a Casuarina player in the dangerous area. Marimba skirts across field, finds Hamilton. Hamilton will look up, find the better player. Finds that in Ryan Newell. Ryan Newell goes across to Muklas. Muklas puts a lovely ball through to Curtis Smith. Curtis Smith has a shot, and it's wide. That's just how dangerous they can be. Ryan Newell, skillful. Iman Muklas, so experienced with that pass. And Curtis Smith making a really well-timed run.
And Terry Fannin did really well to shut that angle there. Otherwise, he could have gone across the face of the goals into that far right corner. But Terry's done really well to come across him and force him to the near post, which he narrowly missed.
Yep, great work from number 19, one of the most experienced players out there. And he plays for a 10-man side at the moment in Port Darwin. That's Terry Fannin.
But just how that opportunity came about there, they played it around just on the edge of the 18. They drew out a couple of men out of that line of Port Darwin, which created the space for them to break through.
So we'll keep watch of that. Daniel with those expert insights. We really need to focus on this game. It's going to be a game very much like a game of chess. Came off unbalanced there. Godwin back there. That's got to be his playing advantage now. Jose on the ball. Got time. That's a lovely ball. Andrew Savis is onside. Andrew has all the time in the world and just puts it to the right. Get back out of the play. Looks at himself and goes, I should have put that away.
Oh, he'll be kicking himself. He had acres of space to run into, and for some reason he slowed it right down and tried to hit it from there.
No commitment to the to the goalkeeper. So now we're on a counter. Now it's very dangerous because it's gone to a player who could do all the danger in the world. He took a shot. Both ends. Both balls. Both sides of the goals.
And Andrew needs to get out of his head because he's critical. If his team are going to win it here and he's got his hands in his head, he needs to stay awake.
Forget that. And then a rare misplaced shot from Mark Casemiro. And I think because it was Casemiro, Dominic Price just came out. Maybe a little early on that occasion.
Well, he knows the speed he has, so the more he can come out, the more he can close the angle. It's certainly harder to ship a keeper than it is to put it in the bottom corner.
Right, well said. Okay, sub's going to be made here.
Andrew Savis is still shaking his head. He needs to let go of that one.
He needs to get that out of his head. So that's Jamie. Zaleski Brocklebank. We'll just call him Brocklebank, I think. And Jamie, number 6, has gone out as a sub for Port Darwin. He has 12 minutes of regulation time and a fair bit of time added, we would guess, to get his imprint on this game. He needs to play smart. They need to get behind the ball. They need to forget what's happened in the moment before. Andrew Savis, we're now into a new moment. Let's just concentrate. From the Casuarina's point of view, they will not let up. They will be determined to get this goal back, and they have skill across the park. Speaking of skill, there it goes now. Paragos Coombs showing all the skill there. Defenders in there, and that's gone out of play. So Coombs has lost the ball there. This will be taken by Samson Mashamango. Samson. First of all, do the correct throw-in. Leave it.
Just want to highlight Andrew Profitti's defensive work there. I mean, he was back there supporting his right back nearly immediately, and if they'd broken through there, again, they're exposed. So credit to him. He's been outstanding this game.
Okay. That was weird. Profitti took the ball because they thought Samson would put an incorrect throw in, and Afridi did. Right. corner. Now switched on, both teams. Got to be switched on. Price is in there talking to his team. Get them organised. You can see Lee Addison, the coach, barking out orders. Roberta Sickles back in there talking to his players.
There's about 3 or 4 unmarked men from Casuarina there.
Ball comes in early. And Price. So that came off Van Lincoln's head. His header looped in the air, came down gently into the hands of Price. A few bodies clashed there as well, one of which was the substitute Beau Thomas. He gingerly gets up and now makes his way back to the central defensive position for Casuarina. Casuarina are running from right to left. They're in their black and white check with the black shorts. They're called the Rowdies. They have 11 players on the pitch. The team they're up against, Port Darwin, are down to 10 men. But at the 80-minute mark, that 10-men team have a 2-1 scoreline. Can they hold on? Can Casuarina draw level? We have 10 minutes of regulation time, and I'd say at least 4 minutes of time added. Plenty of time for both teams to achieve their goals. This ball comes in dangerously. Crowd was excited, thought that was going to drop into the net. I was excited. You weren't, Daniel. You're too experienced. Ball just went over the goals, and it'll be collected by Dominic Price. Wow, this has been frenetic and dynamic stuff. It really has.
It absolutely has, and if the start of the game was anything to go by, and we saw those challenges coming in, you could see that both teams were up for it, and certainly Port Darwin was very hungry for it. So for their sake, I hope they can hold out here and get their first points on the board. But Casuarina are so experienced that they've done it to my own team, and I've seen them do it to lots of others. So they're champions for a reason, and they can still come back and win this game.
Daniel with his insights there, giving us a pretty good summary of what's required from both teams. There's a lot of emotional support for Port Darwin in the stands, trying to get their first win for the season. Have been so close already a couple of times, have shown real skill and determination under their new coach. And Lee Addison is biting whatever nails he's got left. They're down to 10 men. Can they keep Casuarina out? Can they get another goal? That opportunity there earlier could have been 3 or 4-1 up. But they're not. And this man, Iman Nucleus, has been communicating and marshalling his troops. Experienced player. Casuarina have the ball in the centre of the field here. Curtis Smith on the ball. Nice work again from the substitute. Jamie Brocklebank gets in there. Goes back to the double scorer in Profiti. Profiti finds Roberta Sickles. Nice work from Roberto. All the experience in the world showing. Goes across to Tobias. Tobias would... the youngster makes a little error there. It's a dangerous one because it now puts an advancing player here. And that advancing player, who I didn't see come on, my fault, is the substitute Luis Rodriguez. Luis Rodriguez, you talk about pace. He's coming back from injury, so he won't be as fast as he normally is, but he is quick as. Very quickly taken corner by Imam Muklas. He's not mucking around. Onto the head of Beau Thomas, but it falls away and cleared away by Port Darwin. 82nd minute mark. Hamilton puts one through. Fannin onto it. Fannin with all the poise puts it forward. There's no urgency here from Port Darwin, nor there should be. Get behind the ball. Play smart. Keep Casuarina out. Casuarina, they have one intention. They've got to get the goal back. They are the premiers and champions. They will want to get a goal back. Imam Muklas makes the sprint. Will he get this into play? He does. Comes in, well played, all ball.
Imam's movement off the ball there was really key. You could see that coming probably about 10 seconds before it happened. He stretched the defence of Port Darwin really wide out to that sideline, which created enough space for that ball to come in over the top. So that's what an experienced player can do. They can see it 2 passes, 3 passes before it happens.
And that's what was just in front of us. Tobias Kogi came in with a good challenge, though, to put it out, though it's a corner as a result. Ball goes in, very quickly taken again. Heads are gone. This time the head falls to McAvoy. McAvoy to Beau. Beau across to Hamilton. Hamilton takes a shot. Hands are up in protection. That's okay. Jamie Brocklebank took the full force of that shot from Hamilton. Right. Savis on the ball. Puts it over the top. He needs to reclaim this. Tobias comes through. The lovely young fellow. Nice skill from him. Goes through to the dangerous Jose. Ramundo Jose will play some time out there. Goes inside. Lovely ball again. Get there, Savis. He does. Savis beats his man. Takes it up. Goes back inside. Nice cutaway. Run through. Roberto, he's just gone the wrong way. Go to Roberto now. He's on goal. Roberto comes down. He is pulled from behind. And a penalty has been given. Unnecessary touching. Just leave him alone. He'd beaten you. Why would you do that?
He was on his left foot at a tough angle. There was no need to pull on that shirt there or to make contact with the player.
And when someone of the experience of Roberta Sickles is going to make sure you know about it.
He knew that was coming. He absolutely knew that was coming.
Well, a little bit of luck, a little bit of good fortune, a little good well played, experienced well plays. He gets up gingerly. He's injured. And Roberta Sickles we're talking about. Right, penalty. Will it be taken by the guy who already has 2 goals? Or will it be taken by Jose? It looks like it's by Andre Profiti, from here. Yes, it is. He already has 2 goals. He steps back. The whistle's about to be blown. He has his weight forward. He moves in. Little jiggle of the legs, moves in and puts it in. There he is. A hat-trick. 3 goals. 3 goals for him. 3 goals for Port Darwin. 3-1, 10 men over 11. We have 4.5 minutes to go of regulation time and a fair amount of time added. Well taken penalty, mate. Very
well taken penalty. He hit that with a lot of venom and placed it really well. I think that hit the back post there and it's just gone right in.
Yeah, the net was shaking and Braden McLennan can do anything about that. But that's a good indication of this player. He's been in there last couple of weeks and has been extremely strong presence in this Port Darwin lineup. And tonight, he's just shone. 3 goals, 14 is his number. His surname is Profiti. Endre is his first name. Albanian, here in Darwin. Welcome, mate. Right, the universal player in terms of Imam Muklas trying to put something on there and it doesn't become successful. Rodriguez doesn't get the ball. It'll go out harmlessly. There'll be a substitution made now. Looks like Isaac Paul's going to come on. It is Isaac Paul, number 10. So Andrew Savis runs from the field.
Just like to highlight, I think it's Bo Thomas here, number 15 for Casuarina, who's done a really good job the last few runs of plays of overloading on this one side here. His teammates haven't found him, but he's certainly been on and he's had miles of space. So if he keeps making those runs and someone sees him, he'll be well and truly on.
So Tobias goes on, the number 10, and here's a sub now following. Curtis Smith's going to come off. And number 4 will go on, Dylan Quinn. Dylan's coming back from a brand new stop at the hairdressers, but more importantly, he's been coming back from injury. He'll go and join his brother out there, Ryan Newell. A dangerous pairing they can be. He won't be drawing Ryan because Ryan's come off. That's right. And was replaced. And his replacement was Dylan Vong. I thought I saw Dylan out there, number 6. So Dylan's replaced Ryan for Casuarina. So there's the hat-tricker on the ball then. This has gone through. It's played on. Isaac Paul on the ball. He's all the time in the world. And he makes it count. Oh, boy, did he make it count. Been on the pitch for 30 seconds and makes it 4-1. Number 10. Replacement. Substitute. Isaac Paul. Beautifully taken breakaway goal.
Exactly. He broke through there. He was quite lucky to get that ball sort of gifted to him, but he made it count. It's always tricky when you're running onto the keeper like that. You lapse your concentration for a moment and that ball will dribble away from you, and a keeper like Braden there will come out and claim it. But Isaac's dribble there was quite good. The ball was kept close to him and he was very composed when it came to finishing.
And Daniel, we thought it was a 4-1 scoreline. It could have been a 4-1 scoreline, and that's what we got now. So credit to Port Darwin, 10 men. That takes a lot of effort.
It does take a lot of effort, and credit to the game plan that they've gone out there with. It's working for them, but they still can't go to sleep here. I know it's highly unlikely, but all it takes is a goal or two, and this could start turning around. We've only got a couple of minutes, but we're looking at probably 4 to 5 minutes at a time here as well. There's still time for goals.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely right, Daniel. That's always such a beautiful game. You really can turn around 2 goals, and it's at that dangerous 4-3 level. Anyhow, we'll see what happens. It's 89th minute regulation time. The countdown's coming up to the 90-minute mark. We don't know how much time added, but we're thinking around 4 or 5. And we'll find out shortly as that time clock unrolls. So here we have a ball through from the captain. McAvoy has gone at the back and marshaled his troops so effectively since they've gone down to 10 men. He's a really accomplished player. Nice tackle early by, again, the hat-tricker. Hat-tricker puts the ball through to Roberto. Roberto does an even better ball through. And this time, just once, that's Jose, Raimundo Jose, doing all the effort. That was Jamie Brocklebank in the midfield, actually. They put that ball through to Roberto, and Roberto on. Okay, we come back to Luis Rodriguez. He does a inside pass.
Again, look at the space that Bo Thomas has here on this side. Will they see him? He's on.
They go up the centre. Ball will be come off a player. And Sampson ricochets off his right boot and will go into the reliable hands of Dominic Price. Dominic Price goes back. That's a good, hefty kick. Maybe he should have... that'll be all right. It's fallen the right way to Roberto Sickles. Sickles goes across to Raimundo Jose. He goes back to Roberto. Roberto will play around and eat up some time here. We're now out of regulation time, well and truly. We're now into time added. Ball's loose. Jamie's in there. Jamie wins that ball, goes to Fannin. Fannin puts the ball over the top, and Isaac goes for another attempt. This time he's offside. This will eat up some time, though. Braden has to go back to collect the ball. Port Darwin will make another substitute. This time they'll bring on number 15.
Peter Bartlett.
Which is Peter Bartlett. I assume they're going to bring off Jose. So Raimundo Jose has had a fantastic 90 minutes. Has really been involved in a lot of the clever stuff that's come out of the midfield. You talk about a smart player. He is one of them.
Very, very creative, and he's really tested the defence of Casuarina tonight. They haven't known when to dive in for that tackle and when to let him run, and he's great on the ball and great to watch.
Yeah, and that's smart players make you think twice, and once you do that, they're away. Imam Muklas on the ball for Casuarina in the middle. He goes to Dylan Vong. Dylan Vong puts it through to Marky Casemiro. The call comes Marky from Luis Rodriguez, but Jamie Brocklebank is in there and clears it. Only as far as the substitute in Bartlett. Ball still with Casuarina. Casemiro on the ball, dangerous. He make the run. Still on the ball. Still on the ball. And what a determined effort from him. And to your point, in the time added, it now goes to 4-2. That's an individual glory. That's all you can say that is. Individual glorified goal. Well
takes
played.
It to the top of the goal scorer leaderboard, above Simon Bell now with 9 goals.
And he worked hard for that. There was 3 or 4 efforts in that. He got over, through, and under players to get to that ball and still put it past Price.
He did. I kept thinking he was going to go down there, but credit to him, he stayed on his feet and he tucked that one away.
So we have a 4-2 scoreline. We're into time added here. This is the Men's Premier League Round 7. Port Darwin yet to get a win. Down to 10 men. Have a 2 advantage on the scoreboard, but there is time for Casuarina and the dangerous Casuarina to get back. Rodriguez pinches the ball, and that will go and let it roll and roll and roll into the hands. And Price will take his time picking this up. Rodriguez goes down to make the action happen. He does that. And Pricey picks the ball up. He'll move forward to the edge of the box. The referee blows whistle. We do have a victory for Port Darwin. 4-2. Their fans are very excited. Lots of applause. Their horse, like I am. That was an exciting game. 6 goals. What was there, though, Daniel, was this tension all the way through. Could they get their first win? Could they stand it from a 10-man position?
And maybe this is the turnaround their season needs. It's not just their first win, but it's the first win against the champions of last season, who are in form as well. So, look, that's great for Port Darwin there. Hopefully, that's confidence building going forward.
Well put, Daniel. We'll pick apart the second half. We'll get a couple of the players up from Port Darwin. You and I will put them under the spotlight. But we just leave you now with a 4-2 scoreline. Port Darwin over Casuarina. This is the Darwin Football Men's Premier League here in Darwin. We're out on the Perform Network. That was exciting, 6 goals, a really great half. And as I said, theatre, anticipation, expectation and tension running all through it. And when they got down to 10 men, it just lifted it It was Academy Award-like stuff. I enjoyed it so much as a neutral. I hope you did as well. Stay with us. We've got more to go as we pick this game apart and also hear from a team that I'm sure will be elated with their performance. Casuarina will go back, heads down a bit. Body language not perfect, but they're such a champion side. They will be back. My name is Bruce Stalder. We'll take a short break, get some highlights, and then, as I said, get some analysis. That is Coombe on the ball now, who will be dangerous. That's a lovely ball through. If he's got time and place, he does. He turns on the right foot. He'll have a shot. Of course he will. That's Daniel Marimba. Seb Smith on the overlap. He ignores him, goes into Coombe. Coomb's on the ball. And great work from the keeper. Won't get it because this ball's gone through to Savas on the run. Savas puts it across. It goes into Oakland. Oakland has a chance to go across. This is Enfridi. He goes in shot. It's a goal.
And it's in.
It is a goal. And a player I mentioned earlier on, so get it because this ball's gone through to Savas on the run. Savas puts it across. It goes into Oakland. Oakland has a chance to go across. This is Enfridi. He goes in shot. It's a goal.
And it's in.
It is a goal. He attempted to go to Marimba. Fannin will have to go back. Martin Casimiro's there early. That is what he can do. That is sensational. Mark Casemiro, he attempted to go to Marimba. Fannin will have to go back. Martin Casimiro's there early. That is what he can do. That is sensational. Mark Casemiro, you are a out-and-out striker. The ball, he's got a wall formed and he moves. He's going to leave it for Roberto. No, he doesn't. Roberto dubbies over the top. Now it's going to be him. He has that shot and he puts it in. It is a brace. What a beautiful taken shot. The ball, he's got a wall formed and he moves. He's going to leave it for Roberto. No, he doesn't. Roberto dubbies over the top. Now it's going to be him. He has that shot and he puts it in. It is a brace. What a beautiful taken shot. To your point, Daniel, they have a really assertive and what we call a positive mindset tonight, and there's a good example of it. They almost fooled themselves, certainly fooled me, but they had a jump over from Roberto. A pass. He should have gone then. He's going to go with his left. Will he go with his left? He dances again. Roberto Sickles goes across. This goal's played on. McAvoy has an opportunity. Dances in behind him.
They really could have put that one away there.
Yeah, good point, Daniel. Okay, Jose puts it drifting over the top. It does find the head, Oh, well played. To a player that's got that in him, a better player, finds that in Ryan Newell. Ryan Newell goes across to Muklas. Muklas puts a lovely ball through to Curtis Smith. Curtis Smith has a shot, and it's wide. That's just how dangerous they can be. Running advantage now. Jose on the ball, got time. That's a lovely ball. Andrew Savis is onside. Andrew has all the time in the world and just puts it to the right. Get back out. No commitment to the to the goalkeeper. So now we're on a counter. Now it's very dangerous because it's gone to a player who could do all the danger in the world. He took a shot. Both. Roberto just gone the wrong way. Go to Roberto now. He's on goal. Roberto comes down. He is pulled from his weight forward. He moves in. Little jiggle of the legs, moves in and puts it in. There he is. A hat-trick. 3 goals. 3 goals for him. 3 goals for Port Darwin. Has his weight forward. He moves in. Little jiggle of the legs, moves in and puts it in. There he is. A trigger on the ball. Trigger on the ball then. This has gone through. It's played on. Isaac Paul on the ball. He's all the time in the world. And he makes it count. Oh, boy, did he make it count. Bartlett. Ball still with Casuarina. Casemiro on the ball. Dangerous. He make the run. Still on the ball. Still on the ball. And what a determined effort from him. And to your point, in the time added, it now goes to 4-2. That's an individual glory. That's all you can say that is. Individual glorified goal. Well
takes
played.
it to the top of the goal scorer leaderboard.
Bartlett. Ball still with Casuarina. Casemiro on the ball. Dangerous. He make the run. Still on the ball. Still on the ball. And what a determined effort from him. And to your point, in the time added, it now goes to 4-2. That's an individual glory. That's all you can say that is. Individual glorified goal. Well
takes
played.
it to the top of the goal scorer leaderboard.
Well, welcome back. That was a really good snapshot of 90 minutes plus of football, which was just end-to-end stuff, exciting. As a neutral, just love that game of football. There was such an inbuilt tension. And I know I'm going to go to you in a minute, Lee, but I know you don't like going down to 10 men, but for a neutral, it just added so much excitement to that game. Could you guys hang on? Could you rebuild? Could the momentum stay there? The first thing I've got to say to you, your players played so smart tonight.
Yeah, totally, Bruce. It's just unbelievable, obviously, getting the win.
Yeah, fantastic.
And we've been working for 6-7 weeks,
Yep.
working on schedules, working on players. And then, obviously, last week, unfortunately, against Mindle. And then, yeah, so the guys... You could see in the training this week, the guys just wanted it so much.
Yeah, hold on to the mic because I'm going to give it to Daniel, ask you a couple of questions. But I want to talk about the fact that it's a new team, a new coach. You're finding the players. You want to put them where you want to put them. The thing is, mate, over those 6 or 7 weeks, you could see it building. You could see moments where it made sense. And then last week it was so near. And today, and I just had so much confidence in what I saw out there. And when you went to 10, you moved Ryan back to the back. He just patrolled the back there. I just thought the stuff as a coach, mate, you should be, I know you hate this, but that was a really well-coached game.
Thank you very much, Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was full credit to the guys. You know, obviously they're going to celebrate tonight.
Yeah,
and
I'm
so
sure
we should. Like I said, we've worked hard. Really, really worked hard. So it's credit to them that obviously the results are there.
Yeah, absolutely. Daniel?
I'll grab this mic back. Look, I got down here a little bit early. I was watching your warm-up. There was certainly a hunger in it, and I was on the receiving end of that hunger last week. You came out, I think there was 3 fouls in the first minute. It looked like part of your game plan was to impose yourself physically and sort of disrupt Casuarina, not allow them to feel safe or not allow them to feel like they can dribble past anyone. You sat quite deep. You really restricted the space for Mark Casemiro to play in. It looked like that was a really intentional game plan. I mean, do you have any comments there? Was that the game plan?
Like I said, you know, obviously from right at the beginning of this, we want to play attacking football, and our philosophy is to get the younger guys all the way through, and luckily we've recruited quite well. So to have these individuals, that's all they want to do. They want to play that attacking play, and they want to push up, and they want to obviously close the space for the opposition. And I'm more than happy with that if they give me results like this.
It looked like it, and I made the comment to Bruce earlier as well. I was having a look through some of the Premier squad lists, and you've had 32 different players play for your Premier team. So, as a coach with your first year with the team and the club this year, are you still trying to figure out your best team? It certainly looks like that core is starting to stabilise a bit. You know, having the same guys in there week in, week out. Is that the case?
It's not so much the case. It's unfortunately we have had massive injuries. Obviously, Jockwall last week, facial. We've picked up a few injuries today. And we've just not been able to get that stable side. And it's not purely for selection purposes, it's purely because of injury. So luckily we've had the players to come in and be able to jump in them positions for us. We were missing the right and left back this morning. Today.
Yeah.
Luckily the guys jumped in and were willing to play, and it was a last-minute change.
Yeah.
Literally we only found out about 4 o'clock today. So we've got the talent, the quality in order to do that.
Yeah, and they're understanding your game. Can you give that microphone to Mr. McAvoy? Buddy, thank you for joining us. It's so good to see you out there playing football.
Cheers,
I just want to quickly tell you a little bit about your background, because you've just got time on the ball, mate. If you were a cricketer, that ball would come to you so late and you'd play it late. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So well done. Where you about? What's your history?
From Ireland, Dublin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Funny that.
Exactly. You would have heard that after a couple of seconds. But no, I played back in Ireland for a couple of years, and then 2016 I came out to Australia.
Right.
And I'd done a season in Melbourne, and I went back home, and then I just really came back out. And this year, when I found out I was able to stay, obviously with all this COVID, it was crazy, but I was probably one of the fortunate ones that managed to stay in the country due to it. My girlfriend, she's in childcare, so she was classed as an essential worker, so we were able to stay. And once I knew I could do another season, I started messaging clubs up here, and Lee just got onto me straight away, and that was me done. I'd committed to that. I just wanted to change it up and do something different, and I'm delighted I'm up here now.
Mate, we're so glad to have you. I just want to get an insight. Have you ever been given a red card while you're on a stretcher? And I know, like Quinn is just coming across. He's in pain, and he looks up and goes, "What?"
Yeah, I had no idea.
Have you seen that?
I had no idea. Look, I hadn't a clue. And John called me off when he was like, "You're going to sit in," and I was,
What?
That's what I have been doing. And he's like, "No, at the back," because like, you guys been sent off. And I was like, "Look, you just have to do what you have to do, you know." We just had to get out there then, and it happened. So we had to manage it, and that's what we do, and that's what we try and do when I'm out there a little bit. I'm a little bit older than a lot of the lads here, and I've played, and I can't bring any more ability to the lad. All I can bring is experience, in a sense, and that's what I'm trying to talk these young lads through the game, just trying to make them better players that way. And I mean, look, we had a decent game last week, and we're very disappointed to lose, but tonight we're fully deserving of it, and I think we got more respect because of performance last week, and everybody's going to start taking a bit more notice of us now.
Yeah,
so
look, well put. I think that's so spot on. Keep the mic, Daniel.
Yeah, look, I think it was quite evident your experience and composure that you brought on the ball there. You had the vision to find a few key players over the top, and just when to go back and when to go forward. Having played sort of all around the world by the sounds of it, and then coming into the league in Darwin, having your debut last week, what are the main key points of difference? Obviously, the weather's probably part of it.
Yeah, that's a big one for me, man. Last week, after 65 minutes, you could have got the stretcher out for me, if I'm honest. But no, look, when I knew, I kind of knew I was coming up here middle of May sometime, and sort of the minute, like I said, I started speaking to Lee, and that I start watching every game. So I watched every game, the 3 games every weekend, for my own sake, to see what the team I was like was coming to, and what the league was like, and what I could hopefully come and bring to it, you know. And look, like I said, that's my game out there. You're saying to me I can play cricket, it's because I can't run. Nah, honestly, look, that's my game, and I like to play a bit more composed on the ball, and I try and just bring that through to everybody, because when we compose, and you could see it tonight, we're playing little triangles around, 3 lads in the corner there, and we're getting out. And when you've that confidence, it's great, you know, when you start getting results like that. Because when I watch the results, it's just like we're lacking a little bit of confidence, and look, that's all I try to come in and bring into the lads, and I hope I can help that. But it's down to everybody to take that responsibility on, and when you get good results, confidence goes up, and you start feeling like you can beat anybody, and hopefully we can kick on next week now.
I think it's evident across a number of clubs, and Port Darwin's certainly one of them. There's a lot of young players in there, so having a guy like you there able to mentor them is invaluable, really. Was there anyone standing out for you with the young talent coming through? I mean, Tobias had a great game today.
Yeah, he was great today. Yeah, he had a really good game today. Like I said, when I watched all the games across all the teams, I've seen heaps of raw talent up here. You know, young lads that have flashes of brilliance. And, you know, there's a lot of potential there in them across the whole league. And I think, like I said, experienced players are vital to bringing them lads through and have them work on the other parts of the game, not their ability and everything like that. But look, the right and the left full tonight, the 2 boys are brilliant. I couldn't pick anyone out there tonight and say could have done more. You know, Sav come in there after 15 minutes or whatever, not even. And, you know, that first 10 minutes when you come off the bench is really difficult. And he walked his socks off, I'll say. Yeah, he worked so hard in there, and he fell toward later on. But look, everybody has a part to play in the team, and that's what we need to make sure everybody feels that important to the group, and we'll get them results all season.
That's McAvoy, the captain of Port Darwin. He's happy. Next to him is Lee Addison, the coach of Port Darwin. He's happy. Daniel next to him is less happy. But anyhow, you'll have to face him sometime from now. I'm happy as a neutral. That was a fantastic game of football. Lee, I'm just going to make a statement. I don't need a response from you, but what that says about adversity and overcoming adversity. You lost the Bushranger in 13 seconds. Younger Andrew went out there. Then you lost Quinn. Then you were down to 10 men. It was in the context of it being hard that makes it even more special for you, I bet you. So such a deserving result. 4-2. Port Darwin go home with a win, and to what McAvoy was just saying before then, this will inspire these guys to greater things, the confidence there, and look forward to next weekend when these guys go around again. Make sure you catch up with Port Darwin next weekend. My name is Bruce Sauter. Thank you for supporting Men's Premier League here in Darwin. We will leave you with a thought for tomorrow. We're back again at 8 o'clock, where this gentleman on my right here will be playing in the role of coach when Mint will take on Hellenic. Top of the table clash. It could go any way. But the thing we love about Darwin football is it will be determined. There'll be plenty of effort. It'll be dynamic and it'll be tough. See you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Good night.